been a minute since I've filmed a video. We're back. We are still technically in the off season. However, currently, I don't think last video I updated I was doing any sort of mini cut, but not that I like to call it a mini cut, but that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to bring the body weight down. I think we're down to about 274, 275 pound now. Roughly on about 4,000 calories as of a training day. The metabolic side of things is really not changed. I'm pretty sure the last video I was doing, it was 250 milligram of test E per week, which is still currently the exact same. Training's going well, despite being on much lower food and PEDs, but my body is responding much better. So check-in I just did yesterday. Yassine has ordered a bit more blood work from me, so trying to get my EGFR number a little bit higher. It was in range, but he just wants it a bit better before we touch doing anything else. That's ordered. EGFR numbers hopefully increased. We introduced, I was using astragalus anyway, but we've added that back in to hopefully bring that number back up, and hopefully with the drop in body weight as well, that's hopefully helped it too. So yeah, all things come back good and improved, then hopefully we go on another push and see where we can take this off season. Just to outline what my plan would be, to hope, like, I have had a goal in my head of this like mini cut to bring body weight down to about 260 pound, which would roughly put me about 15 pound away from stage. Basically reintroduce the anabolic side of things, get on a proper cycle, try and push muscle tissue back up, but try and maintain that sort of composition from that 15 pound away from stage. So if you can turn from 260 into 265, 270, but still be like 15 pound away from that stage weight, I think I'll be in a good position when it comes to prep. Won't have to get a ton of body fat off, so we can give ourselves a good like 16 weeks and let the body come in nice and early, and we've got time to then freshen it back up, try and fill my physique back out, because I think that's what we found last prep is we pushed too far too quick and dropped the weight too quickly, when my body looked a lot better, having had a bit more food back into it, being 6'3" and having a bigger frame to fill, and not having the advantage of being shorter and not needing as much food. I definitely needed to allow a little bit more time to let the body and the muscle fill out properly over time, because I feel like that harder quality of muscle only comes out when my muscle glycogen is a lot fuller than it was when I was on stage. So we are on the way to the gym to train quads. I've altered my split a little bit, but I can talk about that throughout the session. We're on our way. We are drinking Crank Pump Pro Juicy Orange today on the way there. 2 scoops, as always, before we train. Currently, Crank Pump Pro is on offer at the minute as well. I think it's 25% off this week on Vitamins Performance Week. So all the things I mentioned for like health and sups and things like that, they're all on offer, as well as Crank Pump Pro, which is some of the staples that I use every single day. Right, at the gym, then we do intra workout now as well. We're gonna do intra workout elite aminos. That's currently my go-to aminos. Tastes really good compared to the other aminos. Probably one of my favorite flavors. Difference between this and the other aminos is it's full spectrum. Obviously, you've got a little bit of a higher dose of leucine in there as well, as I think, compared to the normal aminos. I could be wrong on that. You've got astragalus in there as well to increase the uptake of everything in there. And then you've also got your electrolytes, so your potassium, your sodium, your magnesium in there. Plus, you've got coconut water in there as well, a gram for more hydration. So, and taurine in there at a gram. Try not to get it everywhere. 1 scoop of that intra-workout. It's probably a bit too much water in there, but I will go through that in a session. So shake that up. 1 scoop of aminos in there, and then we will go and train legs. So would do 2 sets on that normally. That was 80 for about 12. I think I'll have to watch it back and count. But just dial it back down, take it down to 60. Try and squeeze, pause in each rep. Slow down the tempo a little bit. Even though that's still pretty adequate, I just like it a bit more of a squeeze at the top of the rep. So back the weight off a little bit. Try and shoot for like 15 to 20 reps on this second set for both legs, and that'll be 2 sets done. And then down to hack squat. Change up the split a little bit to have 2 back days in there now, so a bit more focus on back, a bit more focus on triceps, and obviously still having the 2 leg days in there with a bit of glutes in there as well. But that's the main real changes, to be fair, to the split, and then just dial down the volume a little bit, so more around 2 working sets to 3 working sets are very different to what I did at the start of the year. But making sure form's really tight as well, like not getting too obsessed with load, the moving load. And that's it really, so second set on here. Let's see if we can do about 15 to 20 reps. 1. So, hack squats now. Main thought in my head on these is to set the depth on that first rep, pause at that position, keeping tension on the quad and then back up. And as soon as I'm back up, I'm straight back down again. very slight pause at the bottom just to keep the tension on and then back up again. But there's no, at the top there's no pause and it's straight back in. What you see a lot of people doing, and we were talking about this the other week, I was training with Christian, who's a judge for the BMBF. I think it's BMBF. Is to see a lot of people on hack squats taking a really long pause at the top, then going again. Taking a really long pause at the top, then going again. And effectively it's just becoming a really extended rest pause set, whereas it's actually going to be a lot more difficult, put less weight on and keep that tempo continuous. No pausing at the top, pause at the bottom by all means, but generally just keeping the tension up, down, throughout, and you're going to get a lot more of a burn in your quads that way. We did it last week on pendulum, and that was really good, so that was my takeaway from that, and that's what I'm applying to my own training now. See if that stays on there. I'm on the way to Aldi now. At Aldi, getting a few bits from the shops, and then I've got to go home, cook, take Grace some food to the gym, and then I've got to go to work. So I'll take you through a couple of the bits I get from here, but to be honest, it's all pretty much the usual stuff. Beef, chicken, salmon, blah 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 blah, you know the score. What most people can't deal with is the monotony of it being the same all the time, and unfortunately if you want to get anywhere you need to be consistent with something for a long period of time, not just 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. It needs to be like a good solid years and years of consistent dedication to the same thing. So we're back home. I have a couple of different meat options, mainly just to show you what I kind of flip between in terms of keeping the taste interesting. Either lean chicken mince or chicken breast, lean beef mince or lean beef burgers for convenience. To see how long this takes for me to prep everything. It's 3 minutes to 4 now. I'm going to start cooking this, see how long it takes me to make 8 meals for 2 days. And then I will come back once everything's cooked and Tupperware. Chicken's in the air fryer, chicken mince in the pan. Now cooking rice. That roughly takes about 20 minutes. We've got 18 minutes left on the chicken in the air fryer. That's nearly done, and then we'll get the rest in the pan. So it's now 4:15. That's 400 grams of chicken mince cooked in a Tupperware, ready to go. So that's 2 meals done. 9 more minutes on the air fryer for the other chicken. Beef mince is in the pan. Rice cooker is on. And I've also made another meal, which should be meal 1, but that's 80 grams of rice pudding with 100 grams of banana and 50 grams of whey. Which is, I had my pre-workout meal as my first meal today, so I'm having officially meal 1 now. It is now 4:39. That has been 39 minutes, and I've prepped 4 meals worth of chicken and beef, 4 meals worth of chicken and beef, and then 2 days worth of rice, which is going to be a total of probably around, so there's about a kilo of rice cooked there as well, and that's taken me 40 minutes. Literally taking an hour out of your day on a Sunday is going to make that week so much easier to get your meals in. All your meat is cooked, your carbohydrates, whatever you're having, keep them simple. It's going to be easier to prep if things are simple. And yeah, so that's all done. It's 20 to 5 now. I need to leave for work about 5:30 to get there for 6. So I'm going to eat a meal now and then get showered, changed, and go to work. Before that though, I need to drop Grace her food off as well. So I will update you wherever I am next. Good morning, Instagram. I've just got to work this morning and then I'm just going to get meal 1 in now, which is 80 grams of rice pudding, 50 grams of whey, and then 80 grams of banana, and then we're cracking on. So get this in, start working, I'll check in with you a little bit later on. That is work done for the day, so we are on our way home now. Get a meal in, and then we're going to go and train some back, shoulders, and a bit of tries, I think so. We are back at home, and we are going to do 2 scoops of Crank Pump Pro pre-workout. Another meal since I got back, 100 gram of rice pudding with 50 grams of whey and 20 grams of peanut butter, and that is my pre-workout meal currently. So consistent with doing these videos because 1, I actually really enjoy making them a lot of the time, but 2, also I want to be a bit more creative with them. So I've got a couple of ideas to make different type of content that's just fun for me to make, something to do in the off season. So yeah, any ideas which people would find interesting for a video, whether it be silly stuff. I'm not really going to do cheat days, just because, well, I don't really do them. So I'm going to go and train back. So I'll see you at the gym. I've only filmed movement number 2, but this is movement number 3. Started off with a lat pull down, more of a 45-degree, focusing on a range between about there and there. So higher elbows, more like rhomboid rear delt trap focused pull down. Still feel it a little bit in my lats, to be fair. So elbows not completely flared out, just slightly tucked in, but obviously pulling on that angle from there to there. T-bar row that I've just seen, 2 sets on there, one set 3 plates, one set 2 plates, and then single arm high row, mainly thinking about keeping elbows close to the body as possible, and that is mainly going to be lats. So obviously upper back, more lat focused. The other day is like lat, one upper back focused. So similar to how you split up like a quad day and a hamstring day, splitting my back up into like a lat day and a mid back trap rhomboid focused day. Anyway, first set on these, we'll start with the left arm, because that's the weak arm. Not locking all the way out, just keeping the tension on the lat, not letting it transfer onto the teres major, which tends to once you're in this kind of position. So lock it in, feel for where my lat's pulling from, and then work from there. That's flat. On. Boom. 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 On. Single arm variation of this, so don't know how many that was that side, but let's feel the other side, see how many we get. On. So much easier this side. Oi. Hey. Moving on to the tricep focus part of the session. So easy bar push down. Keeping everything lined up. Best with the tricep. Trying to squash that forearm into my bicep to get a decent stretch through the tricep, and then extend press out almost like a half press, half extension. Let the elbow glide back a little bit. Just get a little bit of weight on these, feel really good. I did do a bit of shoulders, but it's that embarrassing. Decided not to record that. Shoulders are really weak, so we won't show that. That is training wrapped for today. Basically explain what I'm doing this year to bring my back up. One, connecting with the movements I was doing well. So that's an assessment I make. And two, I probably wasn't doing enough frequency on those movements as well to get enough of a response or help that body part overtake the other ones that are already progressing. If you're training, in my opinion, and a lot of scientific opinions, and to be fair, a lot of bro science as well, we'll back it up too. If you're training something at a higher frequency per week, it's typically going to bring it up quicker than other body parts that you're not training at a higher frequency per week. So if you're training everything on a bro split, than in once a week. It's going to all progress at the same rate, given that you're putting the same intensity into it and you're doing the same amount of sets across the week. If you need something to come up and bring up, then you need more sets across that week to bring it up. It's not to say that the other things won't grow having not frequency. It's not like a frequency controls growth thing. You can definitely grow muscle training a body part once a week. But if you want to bring something up at a faster rate while still growing the other body parts, you need to put them in more frequently. So, long-winded way of saying things, I put back in twice a week. So we have two back days, like I've said. Lats more one day, and like upper back trap rhomboid the other, like I said in the session. So that's been my primary focus the last month or two, is getting that in place and connecting well with those movements. That brings me on to my second point, making sure I'm feeling what I need to feel during those movements, where I need to feel them. It's all good and well going in and slanging and banging weight. However, if you're not connecting well to those muscle groups that you're trying to activate and grow, in my opinion, they're not going to be growing as efficiently as they could possibly be growing. This is a long bit of waffle, but that is pretty much how I have approached coming towards my back training. More frequency, more focus on feeling where I want to feel them, split them up into sort of sections, and making sure I'm giving it enough intensity within those two sessions that it's gonna grow and progress quicker than, say, my chest, which is getting hit once a week. Rep ranges anywhere between 8 to 12, 12 to 15, 15 to 20, depending on the movement. But for the most part, 8 to 12 is where I stick between. But yeah, everything's going really well. Weight is still coming down, and I'm still really waffling on and on. If you have watched to this point in the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I don't know why people would watch it, but hey, thanks anyway. I really need to learn how to outro these properly. Wait.